Hello, fourth graders. Hi, how are you? This is Mrs. Greenwood. Good to see you. I miss you all. I wish we were in school with everybody, but we can still learn this way, right? Right. Today, I would like to talk about Jamestown. Now, what do you remember about Jamestown? Can you define Jamestown in one simple sentence? Let's try that. So, Jamestown was There are four things you have to include in that sentence. I would like you to turn around, find your mom, find your dad, find your brother, and say it out loud. Hey guys, Jamestown was. Yes, let's get together. Jamestown was first permanent English settlement in North America. Let's try that again. Let's all say it together. What was Jamestown? Jamestown was the first permanent English settlement in North America. Now, why did they come to Jamestown? We call this reason for colonization. Jamestown was an economic venture. What kind of venture was it? Economic venture. What does that mean? It means economic means it has something to do with making money. So they were looking for what? I will start the sentence, you finish for me. They were looking for wealth and power. They were looking for silver and gold. They were looking for new land to conquer. And they were looking for raw materials. What do they need raw materials for? Well, people need raw materials to build things with and to make things with, right? England was a very highly populated and well-developed country. They were running out of raw materials. So they had to get out of their country and find another place to find new materials. Now, once they get raw materials, they shipped it back to England and they made things with it. We call products, goods. What do they need after that? Now they need to sell their products, right? So they need new markets. So they were looking for new trade markets, and that's why they came to Northern America. Now, can you tell me, or do you remember who sponsored Jamestown? What's that? That's right, Virginia Company of London. Now I want you to turn around and yell at your family again. Hey guys, do you know who sponsored Jamestown? Go ahead, tell them. That's right. Jamestown was sponsored by Virginia Company of London. It was a shipping company, and they transported people from England, and they brought them over to North America. Um, why did they name it Jamestown? Have you ever thought about that? Why did they name it James Fort, Jamestown, James River? Everything. They named everything after James. Why? It's because their king's name was James. That's why they named everything Jamestown, James River, James Fort. Why did they pick this specific site to build a fort and start a town? I want you to think about it. There are three reasons for that. Do you remember? First, they thought the water was deep enough to dock the ship. Next, they thought they would have a good supply of fresh drinking water. And what's the last one? They thought they picked the good hiding spot where animals will not easily attack them. Were they right though? No, they were wrong on all three accounts. We'll talk about that very soon. Now, could anybody in England come over to a new land? No, they needed a permission. Permission from whom? Their king. The King James had to give them permission to go to a new country and colonize. Now, all it was just a piece of paper, a fancy paper. They just roll it over and you open it up. It says, I, King James, hereby give you permission to go to North America and colonize the new land. And you can name that town whatever you want. That's what happened. Now, we call this piece of paper charters. Everybody say that together. Charters. It's just a permission for you to go colonize a new place. Okay, next. What do you remember in what year Jamestown was established? What? 2020? Did somebody say 1999? Did someone say 1800s? No. 1607. Okay, let's say it together. In what year Jamestown started? 1607. And 12 years later, something important happened. A very important group arrived in Jamestown. Do you know who they are? That's right. African Americans. They arrived as slaves. Why? Because Jamestown grew and grew, and plantations started. They started tobacco farming. Cotton fields needed a lot of workers to do all the work. So Portuguese sailors went to Africa and captured African Americans and brought them and sold them as slave markets. And 1 year later, in 1620, another important thing happened. Do you know? Do you remember? Who arrived? That's right. Group of women arrived. Why is this so important? What does that mean? Now, women arrive so they can get married, have children, and they can start a family. And that made their settlement a lot more permanent. Okay? Let me ask you a question. I want you to think about this. Do you think life in Jamestown was easy or hard? Ask the question to your family member. Go ahead. That's right. Life in Virginia and Jamestown was very, very difficult. We even call it the hardships of Jamestown. The winter was so bad, we call it the starving winter, the harsh winter. The Jamestown was almost nearly wiped out. Blizzards every day, no food to eat, people got sick. But there was one person who stepped up and saved Jamestown. Who was that? It was a captain. Not Captain Crunch. Not Captain Crunch. No. Captain John Smith. He started a forced work program because people who arrived in Jamestown were rich aristocrats. They were rich, lazy, spoiled people. They didn't know how to build houses. They didn't know how to make things. They did not know how to farm. They did not know how to do anything. They were seriously lacking in survival skills. So Captain John Smith started a forced work program, which means he said, anyone who doesn't come to work will not get to eat. What do you think about that? If your mom and dad had the same program, you think you'll get fed? Now, when the settlers arrived here, were they the only people in North America? No. There were people already living here, and they were called American Indians, Native Americans. Okay? What happened? Did these two groups get along? Were they good friends immediately? Yes. Native Indians treated the English settlers really well. They treated them like visitors and guests, and they taught them how to grow corn, beans, squash. They taught them how to build things, and they taught them the survival skills. And then they started trading with each other. So English people gave American Indians what? Tools, pots, and copper. And what did American Indians give English settlers? Food, fur, and leather, and beads, things like that. Most importantly, I need you to remember that Native Indians taught English settlers the survival skills, okay? But were they friends forever? Think about it. No. What happened was Jamestown grew and grew, and more people came, and Native Americans finally realized that these people are here as invaders, not as our friends. And then things went really bad. Problems started happening, and then it really was a problem, huge problem. All right. Let's talk about the tribes who were living in the Virginia area, especially around the James River. Do you remember the name of those tribes? What is it called? Powhatans, right? And then that was a chief, Powhatan, and he had a very famous daughter named what? Pocahontas. That's right. And a lot of people think the Pocahontas and Captain John Smith were boyfriends or even husband and wife, but that's not the case. Pocahontas ended up marrying a French fur trademan called John Rolfe. And then John Rolfe is also responsible for bringing tobacco seeds into Virginia. That's how tobacco farming started. All right, this concludes our lesson today. And next week, we will be talking about the life in colonial Virginia. So I'll see you next Thursday. And before I go, I would like to announce 4 things. Please go back to your learning menu for Thursday. You will find a link to get to a virtual field trip. And I'm so sorry your field trip was canceled this year due to coronavirus situation, but you can still take a virtual field trip to Jamestown and Yorktown. So click on the link and then enjoy yourself. After that, I would like you to go to SOL Pass. Now, how do we get to that? That's right, student website. And the password would be, what is it? Enterprise. I would like to click on the study guide and review the study guide, the contents of the study guides, and then choose some of the activities on that page. You'll have fun. It's a lot of fun. And then another thing that I would like to recommend you to try is this 1-minute movie. And there are 10 movies. It's all about Jamestown. And each one is 1 minute. So let's do the multiplication. How long will it take? 1 times 10. That's right. It's a 10-minute long. Each movie, I've tried all of them and they are really fantastic. You will love it. So please try those 1-minute movie videos. All right, then after that, there's a writing assignment. It's optional. You don't have to do it, but I will be happy and thrilled to read your writing. The topic is if I lived in Virginia. No, if I lived in Jamestown, I'm so sorry. If I lived in Jamestown, I need you to describe your day from morning, day, and nighttime. You can pretend to be an adult, or you can pretend to be a 10-year-old boy or a girl living in Jamestown and write your day, describe your day, just one day of your life in Jamestown. And if you're in my class, take a picture of your writing and email or text it to me. I will get back to you right away. And if you're in somebody else's class, you can still do that. I would love to read your writing. So I would like you to take a picture of your writing and then email it to me. You can find my email, go to my class page, and then find my PWCS email address and send it to me. All right, I would love to read your writings. All right, this concludes it. Everyone stay safe and stay well until next Thursday. Bye bye. Love you guys.